then it will be time to encase the open portions of this tunnel in glass so that it can be ridden without being fired upon by ghasts. So I'm going to tend to that, and I'll catch up with you when I'm ready to go ahead and start putting down that glass enclosure around this track. Alright, I have just spent a bunch of time getting all of my armor enchanted, and everything came out with protection 4, which I find kind of interesting because I know there's more enchantments than just that, but I'll take it. It's not bad. The diamond sword I had in the warehouse, and the bow has power 5, the shovel is efficiency 4, the pick is unbreaking 3, efficiency 4, and fortune 2. Alright, and now, okay, I cooked up a whole inventory load of glass, and I took it back to the Gizmo's Island portal and stashed it there, and came back here with a fresh load of sand and got this batch all cooked up. And so now it's time to start encasing this pathway in glass. And let's see, 1 block, 2 blocks, 3 blocks high. Like so. Now I'm probably going to redesign this area a little bit because there is going to end up being something of a station down here, but for the time being I'm just going to go ahead and enclose it anyway. And hopefully I won't have too many misfires because that glass takes a while to actually get. And what I'm going to go ahead and do here is I'm going to work this glass enclosure all the way as far as I can towards the Gizmo's Island portal, and then I will go there, pick up this glass that I have stored there, and continue on. And because, let's face it, doing nothing but positioning glass is going to be a boring event, you know, a boring non-event, I'm going to go ahead and get as much of that done and check in occasionally through the process with a little progress update. And so I'm going to go ahead and get started on this, and I'll check in with you in a bit. Well, I have gotten a little ways, decent distance I suppose, but I have already run out of glass, which means I have to go back to the Gizmo's Island portal on the other end of this thing and pick up the glass that I have there and continue this thing. And then I'm going to be going sand mining to get another little full inventory load of sand and start cooking off more glass. And I think while I do that, what I'm going to do is take the advice of someone in the comments, and I'm sorry I forget who you were right now, and I don't have it in front of me, who suggested that I should make diamond armor. And actually that's a good idea, considering I have plenty enough diamonds to do it with, and with level 50 enchants, that diamond armor would be very, very strong, perhaps extremely overpowered, whatever, and it would more than likely last an extremely long time. So I will be doing that. I'll be picking up the diamonds to do it with the next time I get back to the warehouse, which will probably be on my next sand run, because I'm going to need something to do while I wait for the sand to cook off anyway. So working the experience farm is the best idea I can think of. And now I'm going to finish heading over there, pick up that glass, and go back and complete as much of this enclosure as I can. Well, I am now, I think, approximately halfway in getting the open parts of this track area enclosed in glass, and I have once again run out of glass. And at this point I have now used about 38 stacks of glass, and I'm on my way back to go load up on another inventory full of sand for processing into glass. And what I'm going to do is bring that back to the blaze farm, get 8 stacks of it going in the furnaces, and drop the rest of it in a chest. And then I'm going to head back and get another inventory load, because I'm figuring I'm going to need at least another 2 full inventory loads of sand to complete this enclosure, and possibly even more, but I'm going to definitely pick up that much at least. And while I'm out there, I will pick up the diamonds and make up the diamond armor. And while I'm waiting for this batch of sand to cook up into glass, I will be enchanting that diamond armor with level 50 enchants. And that should be very useful. Along the way, I'm leaving an occasional gap in this glass enclosure so that later on I can come back and harvest all of the glowstone that is visible from the track area and plug those lava falls and put out all the fires. Doing those things will net me a lot of glowstone. Well, I'll learn to talk one of these days. A lot of glowstone. It will stop a lot of fires and stop a lot of lava flows, and that should decrease lag here in the Nether, because the system won't have to process them. And I will end up with a really large supply of glowstone. So from here I'm off to a sand mine and the warehouse to pick up diamond. Alright, getting back here, and I'm going to go ahead and start 8 stacks of this going in the furnaces, and I'm going to put the rest of it in a chest along with those diamonds, and then I'm going to head back and grab myself another load, as I figure I'm going to need at least 2 more full loads of glass. And waiting for all of that to cook up will be a good opportunity to get the experience points needed to enchant a full set of diamond armor. Okay, let's just go ahead and drop a chest right over here. And load all that sand in there. Drop that in there too. Okay, do something about the food thing. And head on back. Now on this end here, probably on top of the enchanting room, I think, I'm going to go ahead and build a small station, basically a launcher and a Pez dispenser, just to make things easier. And then at the Gizmo's Island base, I think I'm going to eventually transform that into a full-on multi-track station. with however many tracks is necessary to connect all the tracks that I'm putting together in the nether here. This is the second major long one, and there will be more. Now, heading back to pick up another load of sand. And I'll catch up with you in a bit, because I know sand mining is just absolutely so much fun to watch. Alright, getting back here at the Blaze Farm with another full load of sand. And let's see, how's our progress here? Okay. I'm going to go ahead and drop all this off in the chest. And then I'm going to make use of the Blaze Farm while I wait for all that sand to cook off. Alright. And now we wait. Because that's a lot of sand and a lot of experience. Alright. I have just finished up getting all this sand cooked into glass. There's like 36 cooked stacks of glass here. And a new set of diamond armor. All with level 50 enchants. And I'm going to go ahead and actually I'm going to go ahead and go up here, and the iron armor that I'm using at the moment I'm going to put in here in storage. And put the diamond armor into use. Okay. Now, I'm going to load up on glass and finish enclosing this track all the way back. And then I'll be loading up on track to get that business in gear. I think I am going to go ahead and keep one stack of NetherTrack on hand just for incidental building and whatnot along the way. Alright, now head down to where the tunnel was left off and get this thing finished. I'm pretty sure that 36 stacks of glass ought to be enough to get the job finished. Then I can get the track laid down and this trip will be a lot shorter. And I know I could have put the track down and then put the glass around, but honestly, even though they seem to be rather rare these days, it just struck me as being better to put the enclosure up first, because ghasts can still be a problem. They're not as much of a problem as they used to because of this silly nonsense about mobs not moving when they're more than 32 blocks away from you, which means that since you usually have the ability to see a ghast quite some long ways away, then they're not that big of a deal anymore. If you see them coming, all you have to do is stay far enough away from them that they're not going to move around, and they're not a problem. One of the downsides, if you were, of mobs not moving when they're more than 32 blocks away. They should move when they're more than 32 blocks away. They should move when they're 128 blocks away. Okay. Alright, finish the roof up this area. And start extending those walls down the rest of the straight track. Be nice if I could stop doing that. I may have an awful lot of glass, but I still don't want to waste it. Okay, I'm going to continue this the rest of the way over, and I'll catch up with you at the Gizmos Island base portal side. Alright, it's been a very busy long time. As a matter of fact, I started recording this episode Sunday morning, and here it is early Monday afternoon, and I'm just getting ready to get finished up with covering this track, encasing it in glass. I am down to 8.5 stacks of glass left out of the most recent batch of 26 that I just cooked up a while back, and I'm almost to where the station's going to be. Of course, it would help if I didn't fall off of what I was standing on. Alright, and now you're about to see the reason why I didn't bother recording all of that covering stuff with glass, because it was really basically an awful lot of this that you're seeing now. Not exactly the most exciting video in the world. And not only that, but I'm actually wondering if this 8.5 stacks I've got left is going to be enough to get it all the way to the station. All totaled, including what I have in my inventory that I'm using right now, I have invested 110 stacks of glass in this operation. Quite a bit. It might get there. I'm not too sure, though. We'll see. Okay. One last altitude change on the track, which is right there. It might get there. But as you can imagine, 110 stacks of glass represents an awful lot of time in a sand mine, an awful lot of time in cooking it off into glass and so on. And frankly, I'm very glad for this part of this operation to be finished. I want to get the track down so that I can actually start doing something with it. All total, I've probably wasted a whole stack of glass at least because of mistakes like that. But out of 110, one stack wasted isn't necessarily that bad. I'm not thrilled about it. Oh well, and then there's an occasional thing like that. Well, that was extra special. Fortunately, that time it wasn't into lava. Definitely close if I can get back by ducking in through the station. All right. I suppose I could have left that, but it didn't fit the pattern. Now, having seen this, aren't you glad that I didn't record what actually was about 5 hours worth of actual track laying, plus all the cooking off and sand mining time? Okay, bring the roof on through. And this job will be done, well, this phase of it. And then I can see about getting some track made up and actually laying down the track. And once that's done, I'll be coming back here to turn this into more of a full-on station. Oh, come on. Okay, this piece of it is narrower than it should be, but I'm not going to go breaking glass over it just yet, because what I'm going to have to do here is move this wall over one. I think I got some cobblestone over here. Crap. There we go. Okay. Okay. One more here. See if I have some sandstone over here. Yes. And then the rest of this we'll fill in with glass. There. All right. That part of the job is finally done. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to head back to the warehouse, and I'm going to pick up track and powered rail. And because what I'm going to be doing is all going to be within this enclosed track, I am going to take all of my expensive enchanted gear and leave it here in the chest, because I don't want to risk losing it. Alright. Now I'm going to ride back to main base Netherside, head up into the warehouse, get myself a load of powered rail and minecart track and some redstone torches, and then we can get this track put together. Alrighty. Okay, now there's about 2.5 stacks of track in the station there in the nether, but I'm going to go ahead and make up as much as I can carry, because I'm going to end up needing most of it, I'm sure, if not all. So there's 6 stacks of iron. Tell me I have some sticks up here. Oh well, that'll do. Put the iron away. I don't think I'm going to need that much. We'll see. Okay, sticks and 6 stacks of iron ingots. Alright, and that is 16 stacks of track. Alright, I'm going to get enough iron to make up 8 more stacks. No. Let's break up this first. that should easily be enough track. So I'll put the rest of this iron away, and I'll make most of it back into iron block later. Let's get out some gold. Sticks and redstone. Now let's see. 60 should be enough, I would think. Oh, wait a minute. And I'm going to want a bunch of redstone torches. That's not nearly going to be enough redstone torches. Any sticks up here? No, there is not. Wait a minute. I've got one of these with redstone torches in it, don't I? What the? Okay. There we are. Full stack and some of redstone torches. All right. Extra redstone put away. And now, let's see. I'm going to take a moment to break these into stacks of 25 so that I don't have to go counting track as I put it down. And I'll catch up with you back at the station in the Nether, and we'll start getting some track laid down. All right. We're ready to get started here. So I'm going to start out with a couple of pieces of powered rail here and a button here for the launcher. And now we go 25 to 1 all the way out. And I am going to go ahead and speed up most of this track laying. Oop. Missed one. Okay. No, I didn't miss one. Duh. Alright, here we go. Now I'm putting in extra powered rails at these spots here where the track changes height, just to be sure that on the outbound, on the incline direction, it's actually not going to lose any speed. Ah. Okay, I'm going to cut and fix that. Alright, that's more like it. Okay, I've just used up the last of my powered rail, so what I'm going to go ahead and do is just keep laying down track, and I'm going to leave blank spots where the powered rail needs to go. And then once the track is all laid down, or I run out, whichever happens first, I will come back and put the powered rail in where it needs to be. Alright, track is down, and I've got considerable left over. I didn't actually expect I was going to, but that's alright. Now I'm going to run back, stop at the warehouse again, pick up some more powered rail and a couple of mine carts, ride my way back out as far as the powered rail will take me, and then set powered rail in place where it still needs to be, and build a launcher on the far end of it here. And then we'll pretty much be in business. Alright, I'm on my way back with some mine carts and some more powered rail, and we'll be ready to get this thing finished. Alright, first step, I'm going to give it a quick little partial test and ride out to the end of where the powered rail goes. And then once it's done, I'll take a ride for the whole length of the entire thing, unstopping, just to see how long it takes. Right now it takes just about 4 minutes to walk it. I'll be interested to see how long it takes to ride it. Okay, here's where I ran out of powered rail. And let's go ahead and get this fixed. Okay, now on this end I'm just going to put together a simple launcher type thing. I will add in a Pez dispenser type system later on, but for right now just the system with a launcher that works is enough for the moment. Okay, I need a block. And let's see, do I have any sandstone here? No, it doesn't appear that I do. Fine, I'll use a wood block for right now. Now, actually, yeah, I don't need that. What I do need is a button. And a stopper block. Alright, now let's see how long it takes to ride this thing all the way through. And I'm going to start a timer here. Alright, and let's start. About 3 minutes and 54 seconds to walk this thing. Let's see how long it takes to ride. I know it's a darn sight easier, I'll tell you that. Okay, we're into 30 seconds here. One minute. So you couldn't even sprint this thing the whole way because you run out of sprint and have to stop and eat before you can sprint again. Two minutes and 1 second. Very good. Just about half of what it takes to walk. Definitely very good. All right, and there will be, let's see, this station here is going to end up being more of a full-on station with a single launcher and a multi-track setup eventually. For the time being, the dual launchers will work. And on the other end, I'll have something like this, only with a Pez dispenser, so that I don't have to worry about which end of the thing the cart is on. Now, I'm going to gather up this here track. And leave these extra mine carts here. Grab up my gear, re-equip, put the extra track away, and I guess I'll go from there. Okay. Alrighty. Alright, I'm gonna get this extra track back into the warehouse where it belongs. And then I think probably the next major thing I'm going to do is go along the outside of this track area and put out fires and harvest glowstone.